Hey, gun people. These cops tased an 87-year-old woman. Now, she had a knife, and she didn't listen to him. And the department is saying that it was reasonable force. And I might be on the fence a little bit. I don't have a good body cam of this, but let's take a look at this.
He called 911 telling dispatchers Martha Al-Bishara was on their property with a knife picking dandelions. Channel 3's Denise Cordell spoke with her.
They didn't show the knife either. Was it like a spade to dig up dandelions? They're just saying a knife, but no picture.
Attorney today. She joins us in the studio. Denisha.
Well, Greg, first off, I spoke to Al-Bishara's granddaughter by phone today as well. She says her family is aware of the video, but it has been hard for some of them to watch. Their attorney was captured nearly a year ago. The video from a Chatsworth police officer's body camera shows the moments before and after 87-year-old Martha Al-Bishara was tased.
Now, she looks pretty threatening, and I mean, she looks kind of fast, too. I mean, look, my boys in blue out there, if they're scared of a freaking two-legged chihuahua and they shoot them with a gun, I mean, they actually did this woman a favor by just tasing her. And, you know, that's probably a good thing, you know, that they didn't shoot her with a gun. But she looks pretty fast, and they probably couldn't run away, and they probably couldn't create distance, and they probably just felt in fear of their life. So, but Rick, she had a knife, and you're just picking on the cops. Dude, so what she had a knife? I doubt if she could probably pick the knife up over her head. 87 years old. She looks out of shape. She's picking freaking flowers. And the cops come up and tase her because she didn't drop the knife. But Rick, they could have shot her. Yeah, they could have. Unfortunately, the law says they could have shot her. To me, it wasn't reasonable. I don't think they should have tased her. But is it justified? Yeah, it is. I mean, she had a knife and she didn't drop it. Now, they're saying there's a language barrier, so I don't even know if she speaks English. And I don't think that all cops should speak every freaking language on the planet. I know there'll be idiots out there. Cops need more training and they should speak every language. Yeah, okay, well, that's because you're an idiot. I mean, she's crazy.
Stop! Drop down! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! You're going to get tased!
This was shortly after a 911 caller spotted Al-Bishara on the Boys and Girls Club's property, cutting dandelions with a knife. The officers who responded repeatedly told Al-Bishara to put the knife down. Moments later, one of the officers fires his stun gun.
Okay. They look pretty good distance. There's not obstruction. I think they could have easily created space. I'm thinking even the baldest, biggest donut-eating cop out there could move faster than this 87-year-old woman. That's just me. I could be wrong. I mean, the standard for cops is pretty low. So maybe 87-year-old women are stronger than most cops, and their fear was reasonable. But to me, tasing this woman was another act of cops doing stupid shit without thinking, and all they freaking know is comply or die. I mean, that's all they know. We'll either tase you, we'll hit you, or we'll shoot you. You comply or die. We don't have to think. We don't have to use discretion. We don't have to do anything. Colorado just took away limited immunity from cops. I'm going to do a video on that. I don't know which one I'll post first, but that's pretty good news.
The officers continue shouting, telling the woman to put her... The officers continue shouting, telling the woman to put her knife down.
So he had his gun out. Which, I mean, a person with a knife, get your gun out. I don't have a big problem with that. To me, just because somebody has a knife doesn't necessarily make them a threat. Okay, if a 3-year-old had a knife, would they not try to grab the 3-year-old or take it? Or would they just tase the 3-year-old? I mean, if you can tase an 87-year-old that out there picking flowers, if you can tase her because you're scared and you think she's a threat, and you say, she had a knife, it was justified by law, then with that logic, a 3-year-old who found a knife and picked it up, and the cops show up, they can tase the 3-year-old. They can literally shoot the 3-year-old by law because she had a knife. That's why they say totality of circumstances. You have to be able to use judgment. and reasonable judgment on when to use weapons that can hurt people.
The 87-year-old screams as she falls to the ground.
Why did you not stop?
Al-Bashara was arrested and charged with obstruction of an...
These cops do not look, they look fairly young. They look fairly in shape. I don't know how they found an 87-year-old woman a threat enough to use force. And if you ask who, the DA, whether it's a deadly weapon or not, a taser, it's supposed to be non-lethal. But if you tase somebody with a pacemaker or something like that, you're going to kill them with a taser. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, man. It's been so long since I had taser training. I think they said if you use it on somebody with a pacemaker, it'll kill them. But, these cops don't have time to be asking a stupid question like that from an 87-year-old woman. She should comply or die. The thin blue line. It's us against them. Our safety. We have to go home. We don't have to think. We don't have to be held responsible. We're not held accountable. We can do what we want. Is this earning the hate? Am I being too rough on these guys? Because I'm kind of a little on the fence as far as she did have a knife and they did tell her to drop it. Where I'm not on the fence is they could have created distance. They walked up there. They were called. They have no duty to act per the Supreme Court. They chose to walk up close enough to make the knife a threat when they could have not approached her. And then when they did approach her and found out she wasn't answering, they could have retreated a bit, backed up, created distance. She's 87 years old. She's not, no reasonable person is going to tell me that this 87-year-old woman could have chased these two cops down and stabbed them. You're just not going to convince me of that. So am I being too hard? This is one that I really don't know what the right stance is. So you guys can argue it out in the comments. But anyway, they're saying the elderly woman now doesn't go outside. She doesn't trust people. Well, no shit. I wouldn't trust people either. I especially wouldn't trust the boys in blue. Anybody that hasn't figured that out yet tells me they're not too smart. But she's 87. They're saying she's fearful now and etc. They're probably talking up the lawsuit. I mean, she was 87. I don't know how much she went outside anyway. But to me, this is just typical brain dead, me show up, me shoot, order you around, arrest you. That's it. All I got to do is arrest you, give you a ticket, or shoot you with my gun or taser, or hit you with my baton. Those are my only options now for the brain-dead cops out there, is when I show up to an incident, I have 5 options. I shoot you, I arrest you, I say you resisted and arrest you, I give you a ticket, or I hit you with my baton or my taser. Those are my only options. If you look at every incident, those are the only thing cops do. It's freaking crazy. Are they earning the hate? I think they are, but, you guys can tell me if I'm just hating on the cops here. Well, in that there,